What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Everything NYJ Podcast. I am your host, Liam. I run the Everything NYJ Twitter account and the YouTube channel now. And this is just a hobby of mine. It's just something I love to do. I love talking New York Jets. I've been a lifelong fan. I work 2 jobs. I'm a pretty busy person. And this is just like a hobby of mine. It's something I love doing this. It's just something I want to do for fun. I'm not a professional by any means, so please, I'm an amateur. So, please go easy on me. I'm going to try my best. So, obviously, yesterday was one of the most important days in recent American history. November 3rd was a day that everybody has been talking about for a long time. It's been on everybody's mind. Everybody has an opinion on it. Of course, I'm talking about the NFL trade deadline, right? Yesterday was also an important day for completely different reasons, but we're not going to get into that. It has nothing to do with the NFL, nothing to do with the Jets. We're going to stay away from that. It was also a very important day because Joe Douglas finally came out of hiding and met with the media for the first time in what feels like forever. And boy, oh boy, was I looking forward to this. I've been wanting to see Joe Douglas talk to the media since week 1. When Christopher Johnson came out and backed Adam Gase, I'm like, all right, I want to hear from the general manager himself. I have been waiting so long for Joe Douglas, and I didn't think he was going to speak with the media until the bye week, but I'm really glad he came out, and he did, of course, address the media. I don't think that the media went too hard on him. I think they could have went a lot harder on him. I would have went a lot harder. I have a ton of questions for him. God, I wish I was, able to interview him. Getting into it a little bit, obviously he opened it up by saying that we win and lose as a team. And I have to say, in a professional way, he did take a lot of responsibility, as himself. He took a lot of the blame, which he kind of has to. It really is it's just a clown show from, the bottom all the way to the top. It's just everybody there. This record reflects everybody. It doesn't just reflect the players. It doesn't just reflect Adam Gase. It doesn't just reflect Christopher Johnson. It doesn't just reflect Joe Douglas. It reflects all of them together. Everybody who is a part of that organization has some blame in this. So, obviously, yesterday was the trade deadline. The Jets didn't trade anybody. But I want to get into the trades a little bit, though. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell was cut, which I'm still a little angry about that. I definitely think that we could have gotten some compensation for him. They're saying no, but I don't believe that. I think if we would have hung on to him a little bit longer, I think we definitely could have gotten something for him. Steve McClendon was the next one who was traded. He was traded to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay also received a 2023 7th-round draft pick. In exchange for that, we got the 2022 6th-round draft pick. Next up was Jordan Willis. Jordan Willis and the Jets for a 2021 7th-round draft pick to the 49ers for their 2021 6th-round draft pick. So obviously we're getting some late-round picks for some of these guys. That's what happens when you go 0-8, guys. You just got to start moving on from some players. You're looking towards the future, looking towards the draft. Avery Williamson was the most recent one. He was traded after the Chiefs game Sunday. So Avery Williamson was traded to Pittsburgh, and the Jets also traded the 2022 7th-round draft pick for a 2022 5th-round draft pick. Excuse me. Gets to be a little bit of a tongue twister talking about all these numbers. So I was kind of expecting actually a few more players to be traded. I wasn't sure who they were going to be, but I figured that the Jets would make a couple more surprise moves. It wasn't going to surprise me at all. So I was actually a little surprised that we didn't move on from anybody else. I know that there was a lot of trade rumors regarding Quinnen Williams and Chris Herndon. And Joe Douglas was asked about them, and he said that they were just rumors. And then I remember he was asked about how he feels about Chris Herndon's performance and stuff like that. And he said he was disappointed. He said that it seems like Chris Herndon was snake bitten. That was the term that he used. And ever since the suspension and the injury, he just really hasn't been the same player. I know that there was a lot of hype going into him this past offseason. And obviously everybody's frustrated about it. And like, I kind of wish that Chris Herndon like was cut, was traded something. I don't want to see him on the team anymore. I don't like him anymore as a player. And it's just really disappointing. You know, he's a liability at this point. You know, he's a fumbling machine. He has like last game he had like one catch. It's like he's useless at this point. Why is he out there? We have to start looking towards the future, and I don't think he's going to be part of the future, man. I definitely think that we're going to have to use one of these draft picks to draft a tight end because Chris Herndon is not the person that we thought he was going to be. He was like amazing his rookie year with Sam Darnold. Him and Sam really had some great chemistry together, and that chemistry has just like gone out the window ever since he came back this year. And it's really sad because I do think that like he had a lot of potential, and I don't know what happened to him. I don't think anybody knows what happened to him. He looks scared out there, and he looks like he's just out of it. He looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, and he doesn't look like he belongs in the NFL. He's dropping simple passes. He's not even getting open half the time. He's useless. Why is he out there? During Joe Douglas's press conference, he was asked about Robbie Anderson and if he regrets letting him go. And he did. He said, I do regret not re-signing him. He thought that Robbie was going to ask for a lot more money than what he actually did. And I know that a lot of people thought Robbie Anderson was just like a one-trick pony. And now look at him. He's like one of the top receivers in the league. I think he's ranked number 3 or 4. Don't count me on that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure he is. I know he's definitely like within the top 5. But he does regret not signing him. And, I'm glad that he's doing well for himself. And I'm really glad that Avery Williamson got out of here. I really think that he's going to do phenomenal in Pittsburgh. He went from 0-8 to suddenly 8-0. So, hats off to him. I couldn't be any more excited for him. He's most likely going to the Super Bowl. He's probably going to win a ring this year. So good for him, man. Anybody who can escape this dumpster fire, I'm happy for. Right? Aren't we all? I'm so happy for him, man. I've always thought that he was a great guy, great player, great locker room guy, and I'm glad to see that he's finally going to be on like a competent organization and just be with a team that's going to be able to go out there and win. Nobody wants to be out there and lose, So the biggest headline coming out of Joe Douglas's press conference is his comments on Adam Gase. And I just shook my head at this. Joe Douglas said that Adam Gase is part of the solution and that they can turn things around together. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I was like, what? He's part of the solution. He's not a problem. Adam Gase is not a problem. Adam Gase is the answer. They asked if there was enough talent on the team to win, and then Joe Douglas kind of contradicted himself. He said, yes, there's enough talent on the team. But when he was taking a lot of the blame, he said that he has to do a much better job drafting. So you're basically saying that the players are the issue. He thinks that there's enough talent to win, but the player's the issue. The coach is not an issue at all. He didn't criticize Adam Gase one bit. And obviously, I wasn't thinking that he's going to go out there and rip him to shreds and, publicly blast him and say, like, as soon as I'm done with this press conference, I'm going to go fire him. Obviously, we know it doesn't work that way. And obviously, we know that he's going to defend his coach and his players in public. But I don't think he defended the players as good as he defended the coach. What has Joe Douglas seen from Adam Gase that makes him think that he's part of the solution? I don't understand. What has this guy done? He's useless. I really think that the Jets could still fire Adam Gase like tomorrow, and they can still go 0-16 without Adam Gase. The Jets can lose without Adam Gase. The whole reason he came here was to develop Sam Darnold because he was an offensive guru. He's this great play caller. He's one of the great minds of football. He's coaching to where football is going. That's the whole reason Adam Gase got the job here. And now he has more losses than he does wins. Like by a lot now. And he loses by double digits like every week. Except for 1 week. I believe it was just against Buffalo. We get blown out every game under Adam Gase. He's not doing anything for us that is helping us. He's a liability as well. He throws players out there while they're injured. He's getting players hurt. You can't have this on your team. He got Le'Veon Bell hurt. He got Mekhi Becton hurt. He got Sam Darnold hurt. Obviously, they're going to say that they're healthy and like they want to go out there and play. But sometimes you have to save the player from themselves. Sometimes you have to say, hey, listen, dude, live to fight another day. Just sit out the rest of the game. We're going to get you evaluated. Hopefully, we could get you back next week. This guy is throwing these players back into games that are basically meaningless games. We're already getting blown out. So why are you throwing these guys back in garbage time? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And the great general manager is going to sit here and defend this guy? I understand Adam Gase got Joe Douglas the job here. But at some point, you have to say, listen, this isn't because of our friendship. This is business. I can't afford to lose my job. Obviously, he's going to be here for the long term. Joe Douglas, I'm talking about. But you have to say, I can't afford, to hurt my rep for you. They can still be friends. They can do whatever they want in their free time. But Adam Gase is not helping this team. He's a liability. He gave up his play calling. Why are you here then? What purpose does he serve? He doesn't call the plays, and he gets guys hurt. And guys have no respect for him. This guy, he does nothing to help us. Offensive guru, innovative play caller, one of the great offensive minds of football. Where is it? I haven't seen it. You guys haven't seen it. You gave your play calling to Dowell Loggins. The Jets can lose under Dowell Loggins, no problem. We've seen it twice already. But at least in the first half, they look competent. If they could look competent, I don't care whether they win or lose at this point. Obviously, I don't want them to lose. But a win does nothing for us. We're just about eliminated from the playoffs. A win does nothing for us. So at least in the first half, like the first quarter and a half, the Jets look a lot better under Dowell Loggins than they do Adam Gase. But honestly, I wouldn't even know who's calling the plays. Like if I went to a bar and watched the game with like no volume, or if I was there like in attendance and if I didn't hear it on TV and if I didn't see it on social media, I wouldn't even know that Dowell Loggins was calling the plays unless they didn't say anything to me. The plays look basically identical, just screen passes and little dives. That's all it is. Run, third down pass, 3 and out. That's his play calling. Thank God that we have a great kicker, 2 great kickers, Costello and when Sam Ficken gets healthy. But for him to be, I don't know, that really bothers me. We're going to turn this thing around together. This was supposed to be the year that we turn things around. We got most of his guys in here. We even got rid of Le'Veon Bell. We got his, the love of Adam Gase's life, Frank Gore. I don't know what his obsession with Frank Gore is. And I love Frank Gore too. I think he's great, but I don't think that he should be getting more carries than LaMicah Pirine. And I don't understand why, these are supposed to be his guys and we're worse than we ever were. This is like the worst team in franchise history. And I can't take it anymore, man. I really can't. And I don't think Adam Gase is here to turn things around. I don't think that we're going to be able to get anything for him. We're not going to be able to get anything out of him. He's useless. He's the worst head coach in the league by far. And there's a lot of bad head coaches out there. And you know what a team with a bad head coach does? They fire their coach. I think at this point it's too little too late. I personally think Adam Gase should have been fired after Denver. But now, according to Joe Douglas, this guy, he's going to be back next year. Which I'm not buying that. I don't believe that for 1 second. I think he's just trying to cover his coach for the media. But at some point, you have to grow a spine. And you can't just be a puppet. You have to say, this season obviously is not going the way that we intended. I'm going to reevaluate everybody at the end of the season. This way, you're not saying you're going to fire him during the season. And then he's kind of wiping his hands clean. Because at the end of the season, you could say, I didn't fire him. Christopher Johnson fired him. It doesn't matter if we win a couple games. They do nothing for us. We're going to get that first round overall draft pick. And we're most likely going to draft Trevor Lawrence, even though Sam Darnold apparently is the quarterback of the future, according to Joe Douglas. He says that he has full confidence in Sam and that Sam Darnold is the quarterback of the future. I don't know. I'm just not really believing any of this. And I really do think that Joe Douglas was lying during a lot of the press conference. And he was just trying to cover, himself and just trying to cover the organization. You don't want to put any bad headlines into the media, which I completely understand. I get that. But at some point, we're not stupid. The fans are not stupid. And I know that the organization might think that we are. They think that we're just stupid fans, that, we're just going to watch the game and, we're just blind and we're going to believe whatever they tell us. We can all read between the lines, and I could kind of tell by his facial expressions that he didn't necessarily believe in himself, when he said that. But like I said, I would just say, we're going to reevaluate everybody at the end of the season. We're going to try our best to get a couple wins and leave it at that. That's all I would say. So that's about going to wrap it up for my little rant on the Everything NYJ podcast, according, everything that's going on with Joe Douglas and Adam Gase and the press conference. And, during all my videos and on Twitter a lot, I talk about that I want to start answering some fan questions. So today I did get a fan question. If you want to send me a fan question, all you have to do is just tweet it to me. I'll like it, I'll say thank you or whatever, and I will answer it during the Everything NYJ podcast, which I do every Wednesday. It normally gets uploaded Wednesday night, Thursday morning, somewhere in there, depending on how much time I have, how long they go on, how long it takes to upload, all that kind of stuff. So this week I did get a fan question. The fan question comes from John Ronson15 on Twitter. Make sure to go follow him. He says, what's more likely, we sweep the Pats or we hire Bill as the head coach of the New York Jets? Bill Belichick, I'm guessing you're talking about. Well, let me just say, I think that it's more likely that we sweep the Pats than Bill Belichick coming back to the Jets. I think there will be a cold day in hell before Bill Belichick comes back to the Jets. Keep in mind, he was the Jets coach for one whole day, 24 hours, and then he quit. So I don't think that we're going to sweep the Pats. Obviously, we play them Monday night in a primetime game. And this is the first time in what feels like forever, probably my lifetime, that the Patriots are not a good team. And the Jets on any other year would have a really good chance at beating them. We've beaten some good Patriot teams too. I don't think that we're going to beat them though. I don't see that. I don't see us beating them. They're awful. They're 2-5 or something like that. I understand that. I know that they're a bad team. But even with them being a bad team, I don't think that we're going to beat them. But I'm seeing a lot of things on Twitter, and it's kind of interesting. I'm seeing a lot of things on Twitter that's saying that Bill Belichick is going to throw the game just so we do get a win, and hopefully we don't get that number 1 overall draft pick. I could see Bill Belichick wanting to get Trevor Lawrence and then just, killing the game for the next 20 years, being the number 1 team. And it's just going to be like Tom Brady 2.0. I could definitely see Bill Belichick trying to do that. But I don't think that the Patriots are going to get the number 1 overall pick, and I don't think that we're going to beat them personally. I think it's going to be a bad game on both sides, though. I don't think we're going to see a lot of good football to be played, honestly, guys. I think it's going to be pretty sloppy. They don't have a lot of talent. We don't have a lot of talent. And any other year, we would have beaten them, except for this year. And like I said, Bill Belichick coming to the Jets? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyway, John Ronson15, thank you for the question. I appreciate it. I want to start doing more of these. I wouldn't mind getting a couple questions and answering, quite a few questions. But thank you guys for checking out the video. It really does mean a lot to me. The best way to support it is just like, share, and subscribe. Send me some comments. Go follow me on Twitter at EverythingNYJ. I would really appreciate that. Thank you guys for all the support. And as always, have a good night. Go Jets, I guess, if you want to say that. I don't know. I'm boycotting saying go Jets. So enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you, guys.